Hey, how is everyone doing today? I am doing really good. And I am just making a video today about something that's been on my mind that I know a lot of XJW women especially struggle with. And that is the little voice in our head, which is called self-talk, right? It's what we say to ourselves. And I've been reading a book lately. It's actually a good book. It's called Coffee Self-Talk. I don't know who this author is. I don't really know much about her. I just know that it's really a positive, helpful book so far. And so I started thinking about everybody that suffers with this, especially when we are raised, or have, I shouldn't even say raised, have spent a significant amount of time in the organization. We learn to turn that voice inside of our head into a very negative voice. I'm not good enough. I'm not doing enough. I don't feel worthy. Everybody else around me is so happy out in the ministry, and I'm just not. Or, everybody else has prepared for the meeting so well, and it's such a struggle, right? I mean, I went through that for a very long time, and I thought it was just me. I'm not good enough. I'm not spiritual enough. And before you know it, the self-talk becomes really, really bad. So if you've done that for a significant amount of time, you're kind of stuck in negative self-talk. You're kind of going to get stuck there, and it's just going to make you feel negative, depressed, anxious, whatever. So one of the reasons, obviously, that we do that, or we did that, was because they taught us that being selfish, okay, was wrong. Is a bad word. Selfish was wrong. We were supposed to be selfless. Well, in real life, you can't be selfless and be mentally and emotionally healthy and happy. You can't. It's impossible. So you're staying down in this very low frequency vibe, okay? And you're never coming, you won't come out of it. I have a chart here that's really interesting. What did I do with it? Here it is. It's our frequency chart, okay? Our energetic, where's it at? Frequency. This is a real thing. This is not a made up, weird, whatever concept. It is a real thing. You could be hooked up to a frequency machine, and they can measure your frequency in your body. It's a scientific thing. When I was in the organization, I would have to say I was probably pretty far down right here. Okay? I was, it says name of the level, and then energetic frequency, associated emotional state, and then your view of life. Okay, down in the red, basically the view of life is hopeless, evil, miserable. You go up a little bit higher, view of life, disappointing, frightening, tragic. I would say I probably stayed in in that frequency a lot. I would have to say. And that is way down here. Okay, once you get into the higher numbers, it actually helps with your health, your mental health, and your physical health. Now, not everybody's looked into this. Not everybody, reads frequency charts. So why am I even bringing it up? Well, negative self-talk puts you in this down here. It keeps you down there. And when you're down there, you cannot function properly. So that's where your anxiety, fear, depression, you're constantly in fight or flight. That's where that comes in. And that's all part of what that voice inside your head says. I'm not good enough. I can't ever do good enough. I need to do better. I need to do more. I'm not, I'm not like everybody else, and I'm putting in this many hours or studying this much or doing. You guys, let's face it. Okay, I was in all my life. I never reached those levels. And I had a lot of friends that would say the same thing. Oh no, we never get family studying really, or we never get that many hours of service in, or we fudge our numbers because we're afraid of not having the national average. Well, but when you're told over and over again that everybody else is doing it except you, what happens? Well, your self-talk gets pretty negative, doesn't it? There's something wrong with me. It's all an illusion, really, because everybody's in the same boat, but that's how they keep you in that awful boat. That's sinking, is to keep you from realizing that, no, I'm not really a bad person, and being selfish and taking care of me is not a bad thing, and, I can do more. It's just in the areas that make me happy, I do more. So, why then do you think it's so hard to say positive things to yourself, even for the rest of your life? Obviously, if you've spent enough time being negative, that's not an easy thing to come out of, because that voice in your head is still saying those same things. Even when you leave the organization and you go on to do things, how many times do you hear that voice that says, oh, it's just like, before, I can't do this or I can't do that. On top of that, when you leave, before you left, that there were so many different talks that we heard that, oh, when you leave the organization, this happens and that happens, and it's all negative and it's all bad, and there's only unhappy people out there that leave. That's not true. That is not true at all. And that kind of talk in your head, you have to get rid of that, because it's not going to do anything but keep you. It's hard to see when it's backwards. Right here. That's where it's going to keep you. Look that up. Look up a frequency chart. It's really interesting. Like I said, it's not anything weird. It's just science. So I really wanted to just kind of share that with you, because your self-talk becomes your truth. If you tell yourself enough times that you cannot do better, guess what? You're not going to do better. If you tell yourself enough times that you're not smart, you're not pretty, you're not whatever, you are going to feel that way about yourself, because you're telling yourself your truth. That's what you're doing. So, real simple fix, which we don't think about being that simple because we've been conditioned, is switch that voice. Try it. Say positive things to yourself. Cut out all the negative self-talk. All of it. Like this morning, for example, it started out that my bird feeders were on the ground because a bear came through. I just bought these bird feeders. Okay? I just bought them on Amazon. And they're solar bird feeders they were glass, and they lit up at night, and they were so pretty. Well, all the bears must have thought they were pretty, or a bear, a big bear, because he came through or she came through and swiped them down. And this morning they were on the ground and all bent up, and I was all bummed. Then I spilled coffee on myself. And I said out loud, oh, it's going to be one of those days. This is not going to be a good day. That is negative self-talk right there. That's negative. So, all we really need to do is, and this is exactly what I did, I said again out loud, yes, it is going to be a good day. Who cares if I spilled coffee on myself? And, oh well, I certainly wasn't going to be up at 3 in the morning stopping a bear from tearing down my bird feeders. But that's what happens, and it's real simple and real easy to get into the negative self-talk, and it's just as easy and simple to get out of it. You just have to do it consciously and say it to yourself. And if you do it for an entire week. You know, instead of this is going to be a bad day, get up every single morning and say, this is going to be an amazing day. Get sticky notes. Do you have sticky notes? Where's my sticky notes at? Oh, here they are. I have all kinds of different colored sticky notes, right? Yellow, I have pink ones, I have all kinds of them. Get sticky notes, put them on your mirror. Today is going to be an amazing day, and you are amazing. Do it. Put it on your mirror. Try it for a week. See what happens. I promise you, thinking positive and giving yourself positive pep talks is going to change you into positive. It's just what's going to happen. And you know, if you did that for a week, okay, it's going to make you feel better, even your health. It did for me. Because I'll tell you why. Your endocrine system secretes lower levels of stress hormones when you do that. So you won't be that won't be coming out all the time. Your adrenals are just constantly working, and you're constantly throwing that cortisol out there that makes your stress levels just skyrocket. And then you can't get out of fight or flight. Believe me, I lived in fight or flight for decades. Decades. And a lot of it I know now was because I was in the organization. I didn't know it then, though. I didn't. I thought there was something wrong with me. I have been on medication. I have been to countless therapists. Countless. But you know what the therapist always asks me? Why are you staying in that religion? Every single one. And of course the witnesses will come back with, oh, that's why you shouldn't go to therapy. No, that's why they say you shouldn't go to therapy. That's why they say you shouldn't go to therapy. Because they know out in the real world, outside of their little bubble, that's just a little fantasy world for them. They know that once you go out and you hear anything from anybody has a brain, I hate to say it, but that's been educated, you're going to hear that. I heard it from every single therapist. No exception. Since the time I think I started therapy when I was 22, something like that. 23 maybe. I don't know. Something like that. In my early 20s, I started therapy. And I could not figure out why I was so anxious and so stuck in fight or flight. And it only got worse. The older I got, the worse I got. And my self-talk was horrible. Absolutely horrible. There was a time, probably 4 or 5 years ago, that I literally felt suicidal. And that was my self-talk, my negative self-talk. And I tried to numb it with alcohol. I tried all kinds of things like that, medication, alcohol, and it was always, well, maybe this will make me happy, or maybe that will make me happy. And I kept trying and trying and trying. But the more I tried, the deeper I went into depression, because nothing was working. Nothing was making me happy. Once I stepped back from it and started to work on myself, which means you have to be selfish, that's when everything changed for me. I mean, I know spilling coffee and a bear taking down your bird feeders isn't like the most awful thing in the world. I know that we all have things that are horrible that we go through. And a lot of them, the problems, are because of what's happened to us in the organization. And a lot of them aren't. But whatever life throws our way, I just wanted to share with you how much better I feel being positive about it and eliminating not just a little of your self-talk. Literally, get rid of it. Make an effort, a real effort, to every time you hear yourself say something a little bit negative, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough for this, or I'm not smart enough, or today at my job I just can't, stop yourself and turn it around and say, yes, I can. I've done it before. I can do it again. I am stronger than I'm giving myself credit for. So that's all I really wanted to share. Short, sweet, but I felt like I wanted to jump on here. And again, it's been a while since I've made a video, but I'm working on a lot of things right now. I do have some interviews that I'm going to put up, and I am working on my life coaching a lot, and I love it. I absolutely love what I do. So I've just stayed super busy, but I've not forgotten about you all, and I really appreciate you when you send me an email to say hi, and I answer them as quick as I can. So I hope you all have a wonderful day or evening wherever you're at, and remember, self-talk, keep it positive. And if you like this video, click like and subscribe to my channel, and leave me some comments below if you want to about your own self-talk. But I will see you all on the next video. I hope you all have a great one. Bye.